Hey, what's good, powerful people? This is the Power Living with Purpose podcast with David C. Henderson, and this is Midweek Motivation. Don't forget, but get past your past. All right? You can't forget the past. You hear people say, forget the past. You better not forget your past. That's like saying forget about everything you learned in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, professional school. Forget the past. Well, if you forget the past, you ain't gonna know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the life lessons you learn outside of school, you saying forget the past, then you ain't gonna know nothing for the day if you forget the past. But you can't forget the past, but you got to get past the past. You got to move on. You got to move on. You got to keep going. You can't be focused on the person you were in the past. All right. I like how Eric Thomas says it. He says like the 53-year-old version of him today is a million miles past the old version. The 21-year-old version, he said, would have never been able to do any of this today. The 31-year-old version, the 41-year-old version, even maybe not even the 51-year-old version, but the 53-year-old version, the version he is today, is the person who has been able to learn from the past, but move past the past. All the stuff that could have held you back in the past, all the mistakes you made, the person that you were not in the past, you got to move past that person. Don't forget the past. You got to learn from it. You got to learn from every single mistake that you have made in life, because you got to evaluate every year, every 5 years, every 10 years. What's working? What's not working? Okay, let me look around my industry and figure out the people who are the companies that are dominating in my industry, the people that are dominating in my industry. What are they doing to get to the top? What are they doing right? And the people that were at the top who fell off, what did they do wrong that made them fall off? So I need to do what those people that are rising to the top are doing, and not do what those people who fell off from the top are doing. And also, what about the people who are grinding in the dark for years and years and years and decades, and they finally start getting some shine? They finally start getting having their time. If you look at Apple, the most profitable company on the planet, Apple they were in the dark for 30 years before they really came to the light. Like in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, like nobody was checking for them. Like back in the day, we did on Apple, they were the little Macintosh computers with the black screen and the orange letters. You had to put your floppy disk in. You could play Oregon Trail on there. You could play little stuff. Yeah, I'm 40 years old, so if you younger, if you're in your teens or 20s, you can't relate. But that was Apple back then. Then in, I guess maybe the early 2000s, then they came with the iPod. All right, so yeah, we excited. You got your cell phone that doesn't do anything but make calls, and then you got your iPod. Oh, now you can put music on there. Oh, now you can put podcasts on there. That stuff. So you got your phone and your iPod. You plug your iPod into your phone, into your speaker in the car, or your speaker at the house. It wasn't no Bluetooth. That was before Bluetooth. And then it went from the iPod to the iPhone, and then the MacBook and the iPad and all that stuff. And now they got all these subscriptions. They nickel and dime you to death. They charge you for storage on your phone. They charge you for your Apple News. They got Apple Music, Apple TV, and they keep sending you notifications trying to get you signed up for you. That's how they became the most profitable company. They nickel and dime you to death. Once you got one of their products in your hand, they're gonna sell you every type of extra thing they can send you. So you look around, you paying Apple $100 a month. Times a couple billion people who got their products on Earth. That's why they're the most profitable company on Earth. But 30 years ago, they wasn't checking for nobody. They wasn't nobody checking for Apple. We thought, maybe Microsoft they were the ones that came out the gate and took over the industry. Now Apple done passed them pretty much. I mean, they close behind still, but they done came from behind and lapped them by a long shot. So for Samsung, what I'm saying? They came out of nowhere. BlackBerry was the number one back in the day. They fell off because they didn't adapt. But if you look at the people in your industry, whoever the people that your job, your career, whatever you're doing, look at the people that are grinding their way to the top. Look at the people that fell off. learn from the past. You got to learn from the past. You can't forget the past, but you got to get past the past, because the old version of you is nowhere near the current version of you. The old version of you probably wasn't reading any books, probably wasn't listening to anything positive online, probably was following stupid social media accounts instead of following more positive or better ones. If you're a better person today than the person you were in the past, then get past the past. Focus on the person you are today. Follow motivational speakers online. Follow positive people online. Listen to productive stuff, not just stupid stuff all day. There's room for watching silly stuff online. That's fine, but that can't be the majority of your time. Listen to interviews. Listen to the podcasts with powerful and successful people. They will tell you the secrets. They'll give you the game. They'll give you $1 million worth of game, whether even outside of that show or whatever. But there's 100 other positive, powerful podcasts and shows that you can watch, or interviews that are online. Thousands of interviews online with successful people you can watch and listen to the words coming out of their mouth, so you can understand the words coming out of their mouth. But basically, remember, you can never forget the past, because you have to learn from the past, but you have to get past the past. If you do that, that's power living. The Midweek Motivation is sponsored by the DCH Merch Power Living Collection. Positive, powerful t-shirts to help you say it with your chest, all right, about the way that you live, if you live a powerful, positive life. And if this is the first message that you've heard from me, I encourage you to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and go back and follow and see all the Midweek Motivations, so you can live a powerful, successful life. And also, I try to post positive other content that you can follow. All right, stay hungry. You're gonna be successful. Stay powerful, my friends.